I'm gonna give this a try and see what y'all think. This is this is actually artwork from when I first started high school. I took a 3-year college art class in high school. We had the same teacher all 3 years, and you did college credited art class. Twice, while I still lived at home before I got married, my parents' house flooded. So all of these have been flooded and just nearly ruined. I've done everything I could to save them. They're in terrible, terrible shape. So, what I've decided to do is I'm going to try to do something with them. They've stayed hidden in a drawer. I rarely pull them out and look at them. So, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I may start an art journal and use them in an art journal. I really am not sure yet. But I just thought I would come on and kind of show these as kind of a catalog of the before, or the record of them, I guess is what I'm trying to say, before I do something to them. Because they, I won't say they just keep getting worse, but I mean, through the years they have really, they've got, spots where mold grew on them, of course, after the flood, and I've done what I can to try to preserve them, but they're just in awful, awful shape. So, but here we go. And of course I'll have to stop and empty my memory card and probably charge my battery at some point, but these were all, gosh, in my freshman year. Yeah, freshman year in high school. I did a whole series of horse pictures like this, and they actually, almost all of them at one point, hung in the foyer in the art classes display case. This one in particular hung up there for quite a long time, and as well this one hung in there for quite a while. And these all, I tried to put them in order where these are all from 1981. And somehow I didn't put all those together, because I actually think there's a couple more of those. But this one breaks my heart, because this is my mother. And just looking at the picture, I can see my grandmother. It looks very much like my mother. This was just an exercise of doing some quick animal sketches. Some more ponies. Let's see, I was 14, maybe just turned 15. Just turned 15. And was already dating my husband. Now these, we had gone to the stock show. My mother actually had a booth. My mother oil paints. So my mother had a booth at the stock show grounds in the swine barns, because at the time those were the only buildings that were open to the public, because the others were in such bad repair. So we had a weekend art show in the swine barns. And of course they used to hold flea markets and all kinds of stuff in there, so it was not always art related, but this particular weekend of the stock show it was. And so I sat and sketched while people came by and looked at my mother's art, and some of mine, but Mom's was what was for sale. I was just kind of exhibiting some of my stuff as a teenager, so And this was another one that, just a quick sketch I did while people were standing there watching me. And this was another exercise from class. This one you'll see in a minute. There's actually a tiger. There's actually a tiger also. There's actually a lion also in the group, and these are done with some chalk pastels. This one actually hung in the foyer for over a year. And of course it's got a big tear out of the middle of it, and like I said, it just breaks my heart when I look at them, but I still have them. I feel very fortunate to still have them. A little girl smelling some flowers, and her little lace. I think now about doing that, and I just cringe. And I love this little caracal. He's so adorable. This is another one I did at the swine barns. This is another class exercise. I guess I chose animals every time. It's an ongoing theme. This I actually have somewhere. Okay, maybe I can get by with just emptying it one more time, but it may take twice. This one, hold on, let me see if I can find the other one. There's a story here. Come on, here, sure. Okay, I may come across it in the end. This one right here. This one right here was entered in an art show, my senior art show, I believe. No, actually, my freshman art show. But it was like my first big art show at another school, at the rival high school, which were what? The Buffaloes. So, at the end, when my piece of art is hanging up there with the top 4 pieces of art, at the very last minute they disqualified because it's a buffalo. Some sort of complaint got started or something, that they were showing favoritism or something, blah blah blah. Why? Since I was from a rival school, that had anything to do with it, but my piece got disqualified. So instead, this piece won. So, I still got the ribbon, so it still remained relatively fair, but I won for a totally different piece. So, there's the story behind the buffalo. This, I took a sketch pad to the zoo, and this was just a quick sketch of a tiger. I almost like the stressing on that one. Another one that was in an art show, and it's so stuck to the mat that I'm going to have to cut it loose to get it loose. So another one done with the chalk pastels. Another one that's just a quick sketch that I did, and this was actually the next year, my junior year. This was a sketch I did for one of my sister's friends, and I actually did 2 of them. She got the other one. So. And then these I actually did later after I got out of school. And these, unfortunately, were ruined when? In 1990, when our house flooded. Totally different area, just a weird coincidence. an unfinished piece. Now this one I actually did do when I was a teenager. Our neighbors across the street had had some family trouble. The mother had passed away from cancer, and there were issues with the older teenagers. So the younger teenage girl came to live with us for a while, Glenda, and she's like a sister to me out there somewhere. Hi, Glenda. My younger sisters do still keep in touch with her. And so she was real goth, and so this was one that I did started for Glenda, never got it finished. And then these next 4 were just quick sketches I did when my husband was fishing, and this was before I used to get out of the truck and sweat and fish. So I sat in the car and did these while he was out fishing, just sketching around. I'm losing my battle over here. Have to move some of it. And then one year I did t-shirts for the state fair. Handmade, one of, where you just have one of each one sitting there, not in mass production. But so this is just some of the little patterns for some of the t-shirts that I did. Not that. This is a paper piece I did for my son when he was little. And it also got Blood in the Flood. Yeah, this was another one of the t-shirts. And the t-shirt, there's actually an outlet over here with the mouse holding the plug. And this was something I just did playing around one day. This is 1990. So I just cut out a stencil and then used a bunch of the shirt paint kind of stuff. Just played around with it. So anyway, I guess why I really did this is I wanted y'all's opinion on what do you think? What do you think I should do with them? I mean, I'll value your opinion. So anybody got any ideas? Spout them out there. I'd really like to know. I'm thinking some sort of maybe art journal. I really don't know. They're just so bad. Such bad shape. Like this, I could see doing something with this, where gessoed around the edges or something and fitted into some sort of art journal page. Because it's relatively clean, but like this is just in such bad shape. I don't know, I knew the whole time that there were a couple of them missing. These actually used to hang on the wall in here before I painted. So this one is actually in a National Geographic. No, I don't mean this picture. This is a drawing out of a National Geographic. When I was a teenager, same thing. This was my freshman year. Another one done with the chalk pastels. Ta-da! It kept bugging me there was no lion. So these both were matted and went to an art show together. This one, hold on a second. It looks like 1985, which would have been the year after my husband and I got married. So I love how he's standing in the creek. I actually think this also might have been out of a National Geographic. And this was just one of those, this little pixie out of I think it was actually out of a toll painting book. Learn to toll paint. So I just wanted to come back and show those couple and say again, I just really want some sort of idea on how to use them. So if y'all have any ideas other than just like a art journal, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards, or any cool way to do an art journal with them, just leave me a comment. I'd be really interested in some other ideas. So, thanks a lot, y'all. Tell me what you think, and I'll see y'all next time.